Hey guys, James from TechLens here, and I'm coming to you with a bit of a different video today because we might have some good news regarding this whole GPU crisis situation. The GPU shortage of 2021 might be coming to an end, fingers crossed. You might have even seen a few different videos on this topic with like speculation and hearsay. This is not that type of video. What we're going to be doing today is having a look at the used market and the trends that are being set based on the crypto, I don't want to say bubble burst because it's still very high, but the market is reacting based to crypto prices dropping. And the reason that we're doing this is because this is where the story lies. This is the whole reason why you can't walk into like Micro Center, Best Buy, Scan if you're in the UK. You can't just walk in and buy a 3080 because the problem is people are buying them and they're flipping them on the used market. And the reason why they're flipping them on the used market is because of the crypto situation and their mining profitability. This is why RTX 3000 has been hit more heavily compared to Radeon 6000. The used market is self-regulating like that. And what I mean by self-regulating is if I go to sell this screwdriver and I tell you that it's worth $15,000 and you tell me, yes, okay, I like this screwdriver, I am willing to pay $15,000. It is now worth $15,000, even though I bought it for less than 10. The prices are never set by an MSRP. The prices are set by what people are willing to sell it for and what people are willing to buy it for. That's what we mean by a self-regulating free market, and the used market is now reacting in your favor, now that the whole crypto boom is settling down a bit. And this is important to you for two reasons. Because miners want to recover their hardware costs, more and more GPUs will be hitting the used market, and this will drive prices down as supply will start to trend towards demand. And number two, because prices are trending down on the used market, opportunistic bots and scalpers will be less and less likely to snap them up at MSRP before you do, because there's less profit to be made on the used market. So we should look at some of that used market data for some popular GPUs. And in this video, I actually want to show you this data live because it is really quite interesting. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you a bit of advice, my tips and tricks on buying a GPU right now, because now might be the best time to buy a GPU in like the last 6 to 8 months, which is actually kind of crazy. And this is coming from my experience of managing to get one 3060, two 3060 Ti's, two 3070s, and three 3080s. In basically every method that you can buy a GPU, I've done it other than overnight at a Micro Center, and I almost got a verified actual gamer GPU. Almost. So if you've been trying to get a GPU recently, let's take a look at some potentially good news for you. Okay, so where we're going to start is the Ethereum and Bitcoin situation. We're going to see where we started, what's developed, and where we are now. And then we're going to have a look at how the used market has sort of reacted to that and what we can expect moving forward. So this is Bitcoin as it currently stands on Google. It sits at $33,244. This time last year, it was at $9,239, which is a huge difference. But as you can see, we've hit a massive bubble throughout that time period. Now, the reason why this is important to you as somebody looking for a GPU is around, where is it, September the 17th. This is when the RTX 3080 was released. And as you can see, the crypto situation has progressively gotten worse. The reason being is people are obviously mining on these GPUs. And because the profit is going through the roof, the worth of these GPUs is going through the roof too. People are willing to pay a lot more for them if they can make more money off them. When we look at Ethereum, it says the exact same thing. It currently stands at $2,095. This time last year was $231, which is a huge difference. It's almost 10x. So as you can see again, we get to about September 17th and then go skyrocket. But we currently stand, yes, at just over $2,000. But when it comes to actually getting a GPU, if you're talking RTX 3080, around the 17th of September, everybody was fighting for GPUs. Now, the likelihood is it's gamers fighting for graphics cards to game off of. But once miners realize that the hash rate is so high that they can make a lot of money, that's when more and more problems start to get introduced, because we're already 6 months into a global pandemic, and all of us are trying to fight for GPUs to game on, and there's a limited supply. Then when you add in the fact that you then get a ton of miners who are now interested in these GPUs for profit, it then becomes a huge interest, not just our little gaming community, but everybody who wants to make money. Now, the last time that I checked, people like making money, people from all walks of life. That becomes pretty much the crisis that we're in today. But there is potentially good news. As you can see from Ethereum, it's been trending down since mid-May. And on Bitcoin, it's been trending down since, again, mid-May. And we're in this big, long period where in Bitcoin it's been hovering around the mid 30s, and in Ethereum it's been hovering around the mid 2s, dropping below 2000 in June. Now the used market has been slow to react to this because people have been hopeful. I've invested money in these GPUs and mining rigs, etc. If this lull period is only temporary and then it goes back through the roof, and I've sold during a lull period, that's a stupid move from an investment perspective. So miners have been holding onto these graphics cards, hoping that this lull period has been temporary. But I think we're now reaching the end point as to when most miners are comfortable still holding onto these graphics cards. Say hypothetically, I have a mining rig of 10 GPUs. And even if I bought them at MSRP, say 3080, so let's call it $1,000, we're talking $10,000 worth of GPUs that I've invested, even if I bought them at MSRP. Now, I want to sell those GPUs before they're worth less than $1,000 a piece. If I can sell them as they're declining for, say, $1,200, that's going to still be good for me because I've made my money off crypto and I've made more money or my money back by selling the hardware that I used to mine off. And that's where the used market currently is. Like this curve, we've seen a huge increase in the cost of used, say, 30 series graphics cards or Radeon 6000 to a lesser extent. But now we're in the decline of them getting cheaper on the used market, which I will show you now. So if we go over to my Excel sheet, what I've done is I've collected Ethereum and Bitcoin prices over the past year off MarketWatch. And I've stuck them in here, created a graph and overlaid prices for RTX 3080, 3090, 3070 and 3060 Ti as an average over the past 3 months, provided by TechSpot. They did a really good article. I'm going to put that in the video description. So TechSpot's data, which we have overlaid here. Gray is 3090, yellow is 3080, blue is 3070 and green is 3060 Ti. Pricing for these on the used market is on the right, and they did an average on the 3rd week of listings and sold items. And then we have Bitcoin and Ethereum here with their pricing on the left-hand side. You can see how the market reacts. As Ethereum and Bitcoin increase, so do the prices for GPUs on the used market. And as we can see for the 3060 Ti for the month of April, we had an average of $1,297 for sold items. And then moving into May is $1,617. That is ridiculous. But since Bitcoin and Ethereum have had their peaks here, and we're now in this lull period, we can see that TechSpot recorded data significantly dropping. Now this is the lowest that it's been in those 3 months that they've recorded data for. And interestingly enough, we can confirm this with Terapeak. Now what Terapeak is if you're an eBay seller and you have access to the Seller Hub, you can use this as sort of as a market research tool for how much you should be pricing your items. But you can also use it as a historical data log for items being sold. Now what we have listed here is an RTX 3080. And if we change this to 90 days worth. So this is the past 90 days. Currently we are on the 1st of July. So this would be the market data for all of April, May and June. And as you can see, the average sold price of an RTX 3080 was $2,147.61. Now, a bit of context. This is also going to include all of those listings where it's like RTX 3080 digital edition or render edition, or people just outright trying to scam you. So it is going to be a little bit muddied, and I would, without having a look at TechSpot's data, I'd hope that they would account for this. eBay isn't going to. This is just going to be a high-level overlook. But that's not so relevant to us because what we're looking for is a trend line and how we can see the price dropping or increasing on the used market. So in the past 90 days, we're looking at about 2,150, and how that has changed in the last 30 days. The average price went down to 1,930 for a used 3080 on eBay. Now, interestingly enough, in the past 7 days, we've seen a pretty big drop, 1,704. And then if we go here, RTX 3080, and if we sort by buy now, lowest price first, and what I'll look for is the cheapest legitimate 3080 that I can find, which is, I believe, this one. Dell OEM. Okay, let's go for this one. It's the same price. So this is the Vision Gigabyte model. It came in a pre-built, no original box, will be shipped regular shipping box. The seller has a small amount, but 100% positive feedback rating. This is one that I would say is a legitimate listing, and it's going for $1,545.99. That is the lowest that I've seen it since probably January or February, which is kind of insane. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy this. I'm not telling you what to do with your own money. If you did want to buy it and you feel like a 3080 is worth $1,550, then by all means, go out and buy it. But I would ask you to consider not to, because the whole reason why GPUs are trending downwards is because there's more GPUs hitting the market than people are buying. And if this continues, they will end up becoming MSRP or cheaper, because self-regulating market, that's how it works. So it's looking really, really promising. So if we go back to Bitcoin and Ethereum, if we see another boom, this is all going to be irrelevant, as in all of the graphics cards again will shoot up in price because the GPU used market is reacting to the crypto market. So for you to get a GPU, what you're looking for is Ethereum and Bitcoin to drop in price and keep dropping and hold their drop. And that will mean that the used market will get the flood of GPUs that are being sold off by miners. But what I'm really hoping that this means is that the used market is going to be dropping down so close to MSRP that bots and scalpers aren't going to be like grabbing them off Best Buy, AMD.com, Newegg, all of that. And that it should be a lot easier as you as a gamer should be able to get these GPUs in these shuffles, in the Best Buy drops, without having to compete against bots and scalpers, which should make it a lot easier for you to be able to get these GPUs. This is the second time that I bought a pre-built just to get a 3080, and the CyberPower ones, one I bought directly from them, this one I bought from Best Buy. I managed to get a good deal on it. So taking the 3080 out and taking the 5900X out, and what I plan to do is just put in my old CPU and GPU, something which I imagine that you guys would have and do, and then sell that on as a complete unit. Now, the first one that I did, I sold all of the parts individually and it worked quite well. I'll link that video up there. This one, I'm going to sell the whole unit as one, and we'll see how much the 3080 and 5900X actually cost me. But other than that, you do have other options for getting GPUs. One that I would highly recommend is actually having a look at Fix It. There's a live stream on YouTube that actually shows you drops as they come in, but also he has a Discord. It's not sponsored in any way. It's just one that I've been using and had success with. So I'm happy to give them a shout out. What I'll do is I'll drop this here. So what you can see here is that there's drops for 3080s, 3070s, etc. And you just sign up to each of those. So the way that this works is there's a program scanning all of these websites, Best Buy, Newegg, etc. And when it sees one in stock, it will drop a link in this Discord. And then it's down to your ability to click that link as fast as possible. But the way that it works the best is they usually have like a rough time and day as to where Best Buy is actually going to drop. And then you want to just be there every day around those times, waiting, camping, seeing if Best Buy will drop. Load up tabs of every graphics card that you're prepared to buy, and as soon as one item gets hit by the program as in stock, refresh everything that you have on your list that you could potentially buy, and then you're in the queue to try and buy it. But I really want you guys to get GPUs soon, because I want the whole PC gaming market to actually like increase in popularity again. It feels like people are just kind of getting, I don't know, a bit lethargic of everything, a bit exhausted of not being able to get GPUs, and everybody's passion just dying a little bit. And it's kind of sad to see about a community and an industry that I've just been so passionate about my entire life. And it's sad to see it hurt. And if I can do anything more, please let me know. I'd really like to help. So please check the links in the video description for any products that I can find, for links to the Fix It Discord and YouTube channel, because that will really help you out, especially with the Best Buy drops, and also links to current listings on eBay so that you can see what the prices are at the moment. Maybe it's within your budget. As always, guys, a like is always appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.